Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and we are finally back after a 2 week hiatus. The international break is finally over. The club football starts from today. It is a match day 12 in Liga, so let's go ahead and make our predictions. A bit of a couple of really exciting games over the weekend, and the question begs, especially for tonight, because we have both Monaco and PSG playing tonight. How low, whether PSG can extend their lead at the top of the table. What about at the bottom with Montpellier finally getting that important win to get them closer to the other teams in the relegation. So a lot of exciting things to happen this weekend as well. So let's go and start the first game. It is Monaco versus Brest. It is second versus 12th. Monaco, they were going great with PSG, toe-to-toe level on points, and then they had that setback, 2 weeks in a row, two defeats that have put them behind 6 points behind PSG. And then they just before the international break, they won an important game against Strasbourg. So now they are coming back after the international break. They are at home. They are playing against the West side. It's a very, very important game, not just because they are coming back after the international break, but the moment their game ends, PSG are gonna play. So they have to make sure that they don't lose, further points. It doesn't help PSG to extend that. It is already 6 points, and if Monaco somehow draw points, it could extend to 8 points or 9 points tonight itself. So it's a very big deal for Monaco that they win this game. They are playing against West side, who lost to Montpellier 3-1. It was quite a shocking defeat. Montpellier are at the bottom of the table, and Brest ended up losing that game just before the international break, and now they are coming back. Brest have been really, really inconsistent. Everybody sort of expected a drop from them. It has been the sort of thing that everybody expected. They were going to drop, but the drop has been quite massive, if I'm being very honest with you. Their performances are not really up to the standard that you would have expected from them, and I think it is going to continue that way for them. Unfortunately, I think they are going to lose tonight as well. I think Monaco being at home, and the importance of this game, the players are going to rise up, and with the fans backing, I think they are going to get it over the line. I think it will be a close game, but in the end, I think Monaco are going to nick it. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Monaco. The next game, as I said, it involves PSG. They are playing against Toulouse. It is first versus 10th. Now both these teams are coming into this game with in a really good form. PSG, as we all know, they are still undefeated in the league. They have won their last 4 games in a row, and they won just before the international break as well. They won that game against Angers 4-2. It could quite easily have been 5-6-7 nil that game, but it ended up being a 4-2. The game, the scoreline truly doesn't reflect the game, but they were very, very dominant in that game, and they would hope that they can continue their dominance in this game as well. And if somehow Monaco draw points before their game, they would want to capitalize on that and extend their lead at the top of the table. They are playing against a Toulouse side who started the season very slow, but have really catched up. As I said, they are in a really good form. They won their last 3 games in a row, and they come in this game with a lot of confidence. But again, you are going to PSG's home. It is going to be a very, very tough game for Toulouse, and I think this could be the game where the winning streak that they have made up, at the 3-game winning streak might come to an end. I think it will be a easy win for PSG in the end. I think it might not be that much of a close game. I think it will be tough, but the moment PSG score the first goal, I think then the floodgates are going to open. I think in the end it will be a very easy game and an easy win for PSG. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Paris Saint-Germain. The next game is Lens versus Marseille. The first game on Saturday. It is 8th versus 3rd. And now both these teams have been quite inconsistent. Like Marseille, especially if we talk about them, they were on a very good run. They were very close in competing with PSG and Monaco. But the last 3 to 4 weeks, they have sort of faltered away with a couple of defeats in the last 5 games, drawing games as well. So they are now currently 9 points behind PSG, 3 points behind Monaco as well. So they have faltered. Lens, on the other hand, same like the Lens. The thing with Lens is they are sort of the draw team of the league. They have already drawn the most games in Liga, and on top of that, they are losing games as well. They won just before the international break, and it was an important win for them, and that has helped them to be in that position there. Marseille, on the other hand, they lost that game to Angers at their home as well. That was quite a shocking result for them, and that again has put them behind Monaco as well. And being behind PSG was one thing, but now they are behind Monaco as well, 3 point gap that they have. And both these teams themselves, even though Lens are 8 and Monaco are third, there's just a 3 point difference. So Lens know if they somehow win this game, they can be on equal points with Marseille, who are at third. So it's a big game. Marseille cannot afford to drop any more points, but I think it's going to be a very tough game for them. They are going away to a Lens side who I think will be in a very good momentum with the way that they won their game just before the international break. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on Marseille after their performance just before the international break, and the fans would expect a sort of a comeback and a new start after the international break. But I think in the end, none of them are going to win it. I think it will be a draw, and I think it will be an entertaining draw. I'm going for a 2-all draw between Lens and Marseille. Then it's a big clash at the bottom of the table. It's Saint Etienne versus Montpellier. It is 16th versus 18th. Now, two teams who before the start of the season nobody thought would be in this situation, but right now they both of them are struggling. They are in the relegation zone, and it is a big game. Saint Etienne, they are not playing that good football at the moment. They lost to Lyon just before the international break. It was a 1-0 away defeat for them, and now they are at home. They are coming back after the international break, and it's as I said, it's a big game, but they are so inconsistent. You really don't know which Saint Etienne team is gonna show up. They're playing against the Montpellier side who were on a 6-game losing streak, but they won just before the international break against Brest. It was a huge win for them, a shocking result for Brest, but a big win for Montpellier. And again, the difference between both these teams is just 3 points. Montpellier know if they can defeat Saint Etienne, they could be on level points with them. So that's a big task at the hand. That is a big objective for them, to make sure that they can keep the other teams close to them, not let them get away from them. So it's a big game. I think it's a 6-pointer. I think both teams are really gonna go for it, but I don't see a result out of this, and I think unfortunately it could turn out to be a boring game. I think instead of going attacking wise, I think both their managers are sort of going to be in a way they're going to take the defensive approach, and I think that is why we are going to see a boring result and a boring game. I'm going for a 0-0 draw between Saint Etienne and Montpellier. The next game is Rams versus Lyon. It is 7th versus 5th. It is a big game. Again, both these teams are really fighting to get into those European places, get into those Champions League places. Just a point separates them both. Rams, they've lost 3 out of their last 5 games. They were going on in a really good run, and then that those 3 defeats happened in a 3 continuous weeks, and that stopped their momentum. But they won just their last game before the international break against Aliyah, where it was a 3-0 away win. It was a big win, and that has sort of brought them back into the contention, fighting for these European places, playing against a Lyon side who are undefeated in their last 5 games. But just as Rams lost 3 games, Lyon have drawn those 3 games, but they themselves won just before the international break against Saint Etienne. It was a 1-0 win for them. I think it would be a very close game. I think it would be a very tight game, but I don't know why. I think it will be the away side that are gonna get the win. Lyon are a point above them and 2 places above them. I think they are going to extend their lead over Rams. I think unfortunately for Rams, they are going to lose this game. It will be a very tight game, but I think somehow they are going to nick it. I'm going for a very close 1-0 win for Lyon. Up next, it's Lille versus Rennes. It is 4th versus 13th. Now Lille, they started the season really good, then they went down, and then now they are again starting to come back to the top. They are undefeated in their last 5 games, but 3 of them have been draws. So they really want to finish their games just before the international break as well. They drew 2-2 against Nice, so they are playing really good, but they're not able to finish off the games. And that is why they are stuck at a 4th position. Otherwise, they could have easily been at the top fighting for the title. They're still not that far behind PSG, and there is still little hope between in the Lille camp that they can somehow go ahead and challenge PSG for the title. But for that to happen, they need to win games like this one, playing against a Rennes side who are in all sorts of trouble. If I'm being very honest with you, they are very inconsistent. Their performances have been really bad. They are 13th and they are on 11 points, but it's not really that much of a big deal. Lille. There are so many teams behind them, and they're just a point above them. Like we could end the weekend, and the rank could be in the relegation zone. That's how much tight it is at the bottom, and so it's a big game for them. They've lost three of their last five games. It is not looking really good for them. They lost before their last game against Toulouse. It was a home game, but they ended up losing. Now they are going away at Lille, and Lille know that they are there for the taking, and I think it will be an easy game for Lille. I think they are going to win it, and I think they are going to win it convincingly as well. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Lille. The next game is the big one. Again, it's Nantes versus Liège. It is 14th versus 17th, and again, just a points separate these two teams. Both of them are in a really a bad situation, really a bad form. Nantes, they have just 1 point in their last 5 games, 4 defeats and a draw, and they are not really looking good. They lost to Lens just before the international break 3-2. It is a very good game, but they ended up losing that game as well. I keep on saying that losing is a habit and winning is a habit, and they unfortunately are at the moment in that form where even if they are playing good, they end up losing the game, because that's the habit that they are in, and they would hope that they can get away from this habit in this game, because they are playing against the other side who are struggling themselves. Their last 5 games have been there, just 1 win in their last 5 games. Liège, they have played 8 games, 11 games, and there are 3 wins and 8 draws, so 8 defeats. There are no draws for them till now, and I think it is gonna continue. Whether it will be a win or a draw, a defeat, that's a different question. I just don't see a draw in this game. I think it will be a very tight game, and I just don't know whether it's my bias or what it is. I just think Liège might go ahead and put further misery on Nantes. I think they are gonna get the win. I think it will be a very close game, and I think it will be a very cheeky win for Liège. I'm seeing goals in this game because both these teams like to go out and play attacking football. That is one of the reasons why Liège ended up losing a lot of games. There were games where they could have easily sat back and threw the game and get a point out of it, but the way that they're playing and their playing style has made them lose a lot of games where otherwise they could have easily gotten some points. But I think this could be the game where they go ahead and get the win. I think it'll be a good game with a lot of goals. I'm going for a 3-2 win for the away side. It is a two promoted sides going at it. It is Auxerre versus Angers. It is 9th versus 15th. 11 games in at both of these teams are not in a relegation zone. It is a big thing for them. Auxerre, they have been really good. They started slow, but they've sort of started getting the wins. They have the momentum with them. Their last 5 games, they've got 3 wins out of those 5 games. So they are in a really good form at the moment. They are at home as well. They won against Marseille away just before the international. It's a big win for them. They are playing against an Angers side who have just lost once in their last 5 games, 2 wins, 2 draws, and that has helped them get out of that relegation zone. And a big win against Monaco is included in that game. They lost to PSG 4-2. It could have been worse, but their keeper kept them in the game, and in the end they went ahead and they scored a couple of goals, and they were gonna have a confidence about that. I think it will be a very close game. I think there will be goals in this game, and I think if there is one team that is going to win it, I think it will be a home side. I think Auxerre might go ahead and get that win, but I'm going to stay on the fence this one. I'm expecting a lot of goals in this game. I think it will be a 3-all draw between Auxerre and Angers. And the final game of a match day 12 in Liga this weekend is Nice versus Strasbourg. It is 6th versus 11th. And now the thing between these two teams is Nice, they are undefeated in their last 5 games, but just like Lyon and Lille, the 3 of them have been draws, and their last game was against Lille as well. It was a 2-all draw. I think they are one of those teams. They are really fighting for those Champions League places. They really want to get back into Europe, and they still themselves, just like Lille and Lyon, they somehow think that they are still in that in the contention for the title. They are about at 12 points, around 12 points, not about 12 points behind PSG, but there's still a little hope between their fans and their score that they can somehow catch PSG. So it's a very important game for them, and as I said before, if they really think that they can go ahead and catch PSG, they need to win games like this. They are playing against a Strasbourg side who have lost three of their last five games. They are not really in that much of a good form. They lost to Monaco as well just before the international break, and I think unfortunately for Strasbourg, it is gonna continue. Their defeat run, their losing streak is gonna continue this weekend as well. Strasbourg, to be very honest with you, they are really hard to predict. When you really think they are gonna lose, they come up and surprise you with a win, and then they go on a 2-3 good weeks, and then they are back at it, losing games left, right, and center. But I think this weekend they are gonna lose as well, and I think Nice are gonna get that important 3 points. I think it'll be not that much of a close game. I think it will be a convincing and easy win for Nice. I'm going for a 2-0 win for the home side. And with that, my predictions for match day 12 are complete. All of the games, quite an interesting game at the bottom of the table, at the top of the table as well. Both these teams, the top two teams start playing on Friday. Then you have interesting games at, as I say, bottom of the table, with Saint Etienne and Montpellier going at it. Two promoted teams going at it as well. Quite an interesting weekend in the league. I will see how many of my predictions end up coming true and how many of them are completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below, and you can make your predictions as well, and we'll see at the end who gets a better prediction. My predictions are better or yours at the end of the weekend. That is it from me in this video. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year, so that is our goal. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and help us out. Until next time, bye bye.